Good, happy Thursday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, man shot in Manchester dies of injuries. Investigators have confirmed that a man was killed in a Manchester shooting Wednesday night. The Attorney General's office said Thursday that Jonathan Vaquezi Ardigi, 25, was shot about 6:45 p.m. at the intersection of Merrimack and Beach Streets. He was taken to a hospital where he was later died of his injuries. An autopsy showed that Varquenzi Odama died of a gunshot wound to his chest, and his death was ruled a homicide. Wednesday night, police spent hours at the scene of the shooting and focused on a car that was stopped in the middle of the street. Many residents in the area told us they were too afraid to speak on camera. Resident Caitlin Costier said the news of the shooting was tough to take. Officials said anyone with information should call Manchester Police at 603-792-5500 or contact the Manchester Police Crime Line at 603-624-4040 to leave an anonymous tip. Extreme drought conditions worsen in New Hampshire. Drought concerns in New Hampshire have worsened, with nearly all of Hillsborough County in an extreme drought. The drought is expected to a small portion of Chester County, according to U.S. Drought Monitor. 19% of New Hampshire is under extreme drought conditions, including the entire southeast section of the state, up from 12% last year. There are over 100 water restrictions or bans in place across the state because of lack of rain. VP candidate Kaine blasts Trump's vision of country. Democratic Vice Presidential nominee Tim Kaine campaigned in New Hampshire on Thursday and told supporters that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton have very different visions for the country. Kaine led the discussion on expanding opportunity for young Granite Staters in the afternoon in Portsmouth before speaking at an event at Exeter Town Hall. Kaine held up Clinton's book Stronger Together and compared it to Trump Crippled American to underscore the difference in their visions. Kaine said the Stronger Together is also the theme of Clinton's police proposals. In Portsmouth, Kaine discussed issues important to millennials, and the stay, work, play effort to keep them in state. He touted the Clinton campaign focuses on issues as making college affordable, addressing climate change, and supporting a family/work balance. He explained Clinton's 12-week paid family leave proposal. Kaine criticized Trump's plan, which he said was meant only for women in certain types of families. Kaine's visit come hours before Trump was scheduled to make a stop in Laconia. Democrats focus on November after primaries. Let's take a listen to this video from WMUR News 9.
Hyundai with the 2017 Elantra lease now at the even better price of $99. Better yet, lease the 2017 Tucson for only $169. Have it your way with price selection and service. The Thompson Auto Group.
Democrats didn't have too much to patch up after a relatively quiet primary season, but they gathered for their unity breakfast today, ready for November and their Republican opponents.
Time and again in Washington, Senator Ayotte has demonstrated that she puts her political party and corporate special interest backers ahead of Granite Staters.
With Frank Ginta being welcomed back into the Republican establishment at the GOP Unity event on Wednesday, Carol Shea Porter says she is ready for round 4.
He should resign, but he hasn't, so we will push him out of office.
And aiming to be New Hampshire's youngest governor in 60 years, Colin Van Ostern gave a nod to the gulf in name recognition between himself and his opponent, Chris Sununu.
Now, I am running against the son of a governor, and I need your help.
Democrats are quietly confident of a sweep, taking all the major offices, something they haven't done in 8 years. But St. Anselm professor of politics Chris Galdieri says, don't confuse 2016 with 2008.
It's a really different cast of characters than you had then. You had a very popular Democrat at the top of the ticket in Barack Obama. You had John Lynch, who is probably one of the most popular politicians New Hampshire has seen.
At this point in 2008, on favorability in New Hampshire, Barack Obama was at 53%, John Lynch an astronomical 73%, and Jeanne Shaheen 47%. The latest Granite State polls for 2016 put Clinton at 36% favorability, Van Ostern at 15%, and Hassan at 52%.
I think it's going to be a heavier lift than it was 8 years ago.
But nonetheless one that is very much a possibility. Insiders on both sides say the performance of the presidential candidates down the homestretch will be critical in determining those down-ballot races. Adam Sexton, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Hillary Clinton calls time off campaign trail for pneumonia a gift. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
In premium outlets, exceptional brands up to 65% off. Find a center near you.
As you may know, I recently had a cough that turned out to be pneumonia. I tried to power through it, but even I had to admit that maybe a few days of rest would do me good. And I'm not great at taking it easy even under ordinary circumstances, but with just 2 months to go until Election Day, sitting at home was pretty much the last place I wanted to be. But it turns out having a few days to myself was actually a gift. I talked with some old friends. I spent time with our very sweet dogs. I did some thinking. You know, the campaign trail doesn't really encourage reflection. And it's important to sit with your thoughts every now and then. And that did help me reconnect with what this whole campaign is about. People like me, we're lucky. When I'm under the weather, I can afford to take a few days off. Millions of Americans can't.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Stocks closed sharply higher as tech rises more than 1%. Fed in focus. U.S. stocks closed sharply higher on Thursday as investors praised through a series of economic data as the Federal Reserve's next meeting draws near. We have some breaking news. After Buzz, ORCL, P, and more. ORCL, the business software company, reported fiscal first quarter earnings that missed on both the top and bottom line. Adjusted quarterly earnings of 55 cents A share missed expectations of 58 cents, while revenue of $8.61 billion missed forecast for $8.70 billion. Shares were more than 2% lower in after-hours trade. U.S. formally recalls Samsung Galaxy Note 7. Let's take a listen to this video from CNN.
Better is the reason to buy Monday.
Today, we are announcing the official recall of 1 million Samsung Galaxy Note 7 smartphones. Because this product presents such a serious fire hazard, I am urging all consumers, take advantage of this recall right away. Consumers have understandably been anxiously awaiting this announcement, and now it is the time to act. This recall provides two options, and that's important. First option, you can get a replacement phone. The second option, an equal option, is you can get a refund. It is the choice of the customer and the customer's choice alone which option to choose. The public heard our message last week to power down these phones if you have one. Today's message is to take that phone into your carrier or directly to Samsung, if that's where you purchased it, and take advantage of this recall. I'm going to walk you now through the mechanics of how this recall will work to make sure that it's understandable for all consumers, because again, we want consumers to act to get these phones out of their hands and have a safe replacement that they can use. First, consumers should look for the special code that's etched on the bottom of the back. That's going to be the key to figuring out whether or not the phone that a consumer has is subject to this recall or not. Consumers should plug that number into, go to Samsung.com and plug that number in, or call the company and read that out to the representative. That will be the phase at which somebody will be able to tell whether or not their product is subject to the recall. Once somebody knows that it is subject to the recall, they should contact the wireless carrier that they purchased it from, or again, go directly through Samsung to get either the replacement or the refund at their choice. We do want this process to be simple, we want it to be straightforward, and we want affected consumers to be able to take advantage of this recall right away.
Okay, and there you go on that report. And that does it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Thursday night. We'll see you back here at 9 p.m. for your 9 p.m. news and weather. Good night, everyone. Bye.